Alright, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called The Hanoi Hilton. I only got my microphone to work. I'm giving this 2 out of 5 stars. I just like this movie. This is going to be another canon flick. It's got Michael Moriarty, Jeffrey Jones. It's got the dude from Braddock, Missing in Action 3, which came out a year later. He plays the prison camp head honcho. I like the beginning with the torture scenes. Naked white men showing off their behinds. Not that I like to see that, but it kind of reminded me of the prison that the U.S. military was running in Iraq. Abu Ghraib or something. Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. But from that point, the movie started going downhill really fast. And people from the so-called left call it a right-wing propaganda film. That's left versus right is kind of an old hasty generalization from the left side and the right side of the old French Parliament from hundreds of years ago, and it carried over to this day. I see it as more of a neocon propaganda. You've got John McCain on the bonus features. The director and John McCain are big buddies. And anytime somebody says, well, this movie is total nonsense, the director just goes, well, I interviewed like 100 POWs. And I don't know. I have sort of mixed feelings about that. I mean, they could be lying and trying to promote themselves as heroes when they're not. That's certainly the case with John McCain. He was POW for 5.5 years, and that did not make him a hero. That just made him want to pursue his Congress scritter career, which was a disaster. You can hear his neocon thing about fighting against the Islamofascism, whatever, fascism, Islamofascism, whatever they call it. So it's kind of nebulous desire to bomb the Middle East. John McCain is a big time supporter of the Vietnam War. He referred to as Viet Cong, North Vietnamese captors, as gooks, and they use that term a lot in this movie. So you can tell the director and John McCain are on the same wavelength in terms of calling Vietnamese people gooks. And yeah, the rest of the movie is just like a soap opera, kind of going through the years of this prison camp in Vietnam, where these air pilots get shot down, and I believe John McCain was an air pilot. He the irony is, at the end, they talk about all these POWs that are unaccounted for. I think they've been accounted for by the government, but ironically, John McCain covered it up because there were hundreds of POWs that were left in Vietnam after the war as sort of a demand that Vietnam was making on the United States for reparations. Nixon said, "Fine, we'll ask Congress to pay reparations." And of course, they didn't want to do that, so hundreds of POWs died as a result, and there are probably a few left to this day. But John McCain tried to cover that whole incident up. And fortunately, there's an independent press that is able to expose his cover-up. He ran for president while this DVD was supposed to be released, and they held off. Warner Brothers held off releasing it while he was running for president. They waited until he lost to what was it? He lost to Barack Obama, right? 2008 presidential election. So, yeah, there's that. And like I said, the rest of the movie is just boring. It's like a TV movie with potty mouth and no action. At least the Missing in Action movies had some pretty decent, Chuck Norris one-liners, some decent torture, especially in the third one, and some action explosions. This has nothing. It's super boring. I couldn't get into it, and it's too long. It's 2 hours. Come on. They try to say that the journalists and the Hollywood people are coming to Vietnam to promote the communist government and to bring down the United States. I still don't know what business the United States had in Vietnam. I understand that communism is bad, but that doesn't mean that the United States has to be the world policeman per se. So that's just my 2 cents worth nothing after inflation. I'm not going to complain about this movie from the perspective of the so-called left. It's right-wing propaganda, but I will call it neocon propaganda because that's what John McCain and his POW followers, they're complaining about Islamic terrorism and stuff like that. Whatever. They got to have something to beef up the military here. So that was the excuse back in back during the Bush administrations. And with Clinton, it was sanctions. So whatever. It is what it is. You kind of look back and you think about how much people truly hated Middle Easterners after 9/11. And that's how John McCain talks in this one. Apparently, this didn't do well initially, but it did get a cult following after it became a video. That's my understanding. It only has 901 ratings on IMDb, but it's got a somewhat high 6.2 out of 10. I'm rating it lower. I'm giving it 4 out of 10 or 2 out of 5. And 2 hours and 5 minutes, rated R. I think would have focused on the torture and less on the soap opera aspect of it. I think it would have been a better movie. There's some question about whether the POWs actually practice acknowledging each other's ranks and stuff like that. And there's also questionable stuff about the guards, the Vietnamese guards being lazy. I haven't read the books on this topic. I'm sure there's 100 books on Vietnam POWs, but at the Ho Lo prison, Hoa Lo prison, part of my Vietnamese, aka the Hanoi Hilton. But so I can't really say if this movie is truthful. All I know is that Cannon has a reputation for kind of being schlockmeisters, fibbing with the truth. Link and Avenging Force come to mind. So this one might fit into that category. I don't really know, because I haven't really studied the subject thoroughly. All I know is that, you know, if you play with toy soldiers when you're a kid, and then you agree to go fight in some war, and then you get captured, how does that make you a hero? I never really understood that concept, but maybe I'm sure I'm in the minority. I mean, John McCain didn't win for president, but he became U.S. senator for a long time, and that's a pretty powerful position. And it was all because of his. He got beat over the head too many times. He was drunk with power. He got back to the United States. So, yeah, the Viet Cong beat him over the head too many times. And that was his downfall. But, anyways, it's I'm trying to remember what I read about this movie so I can give you some more background. Okay, so here's what it says. It earned less than $1 million in its initial theatrical release, but Warner Brothers' home entertainment VHS release gained a cult following, especially among veterans. I don't see much of a cult following, though, judging by the number of ratings on IMDb. Um, the budget was okay. So let's look for the budget here on this one. We said it made $1 million on its initial release against a budget of, let's see, oh, it's not going to show me. Okay, never mind. Well, I had to get that movie review in. I'm watching. I'm almost done watching Blood Fist 6. Okay, with the late great um, Katya Sassoon. Okay, she gets naked with Steve Garvey in the beginning of the movie. I'm not sure what their relationship is. I guess they're married or boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance. That part wasn't really explained, but she comes out of the bathroom with her little what do you call it? Her scanty panties and no top. That was the highlight of the movie. The rest of the movie is supposed to be like a Die Hard ripoff. The rest of the movie I couldn't really get into. The fight scenes are pretty cool though, so I'll probably give it 3 out of 5 stars. Now that I'm thinking about it, of course, Katniss Sassoon is the reason to watch. I think she was better in Blood Fist 4, honestly. Even though she gets naked in this one. She's been naked in a lot of movies, and this is her last movie. She died at the ripe old age of 31 due to toxic combination of drugs causing heart failure. I'd like to see some more of her movies, actually. I'm almost tempted to add them to my Netflix queue. The ones where she gets naked, or look for them on YouTube. But yeah, it's a good thing I got turned on to the Blood Fist series. Because, I would have never known about her at all if I hadn't seen Blood Fist 4 and Blood Fist 6, her last movie. So I'm working on that. I'm almost done with it. But I got Sweet Dreams, Nick Cassavetes, or at least it's in the mail. I don't have it yet, but hopefully I can finish up Blood Fist series this weekend. I'm returning this disc, the Hanoi Hilton, and I'm really tired. I'm bound to get like 3.5 hours of sleep right now at the rate I'm going. I worked about 6.5 hours, got home at 11:30, cooked dinner, and did my movie review. So I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great night or morning or whatever it is in Australia. Laters.